Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyanamita Sikihantu. I'm Ariana and welcome to Sutta Discussion, Day 76 by Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima. Tonight's class is the fifth class of Sabbāsava Sutta, with topic Āsavās to be abandoned by skillful use or basic necessities of life. Sabbāsava Sutta is the sixth sutta from the total of 10 sutta that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapadana Client's Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 75 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open. Therefore, whoever that wish to join the class via Zoom, where we can engage directly with Bhante, can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapadana Client's Facebook Messenger. We are always welcoming newcomers. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima, is the Associate Editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies, or JIBS, which is published by the Buddhist Research Institute of Mahachulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University in Thailand. He was previously a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society, or CSRS, of University of Victoria, Canada. Bhante Dr. Chandima was also a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada from year 2012 till 2016. Bhante is currently the Senior Advisor to Sutta, a virtual Dhamma organization that hosts a weekly online Pali reading class, Sutta discussion, Dhamma talks, and a variety of other Dhamma activities. His Dhamma works can be accessed at www.patisota.blogspot.com. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante, and thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana, for the wonderful introduction, as always. And good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome back to Sutta Discussion Friday TRV Sutta Discussion, because I'm doing Monday discussion too. Buddhist Mahavihara. So today is day 76. We will be studying about another method in what we call overcoming Āsavās. Today we have Aliana, Kim, Kelvin, Margaret, Nai, Cheng, Kim Neo, Lai Lee, Tiselim, Bian, Corina, Sita, Aaron is facilitating for the technical stuff. Lily, Jacqueline, oh, this is new. Clarence, Chung, Hema, Sumana, Barbara. So who is new to us today? Is it Lee and Clarence? Are they new to us? Hopefully, I think if you are, yes, if you are watching and listening to us, yes. I hope that you will be able to catch up with the previous, at least the past, episodes of our this Sutta, Sabbāsava Sutta, so that you can catch up in a good way. All right, so let's get started by paying respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, how many techniques we've been able to discuss so far? Can you remember?
Oh.
And yes, 2 out of? All go by numbers. Fingers. 7 out of 7. 2 out of 7. Okay. And today we will be going on to the third method. So each method covers a certain section, maybe a certain section of our Āsavās. Our Āsavās, they they lie, exist, they function differently. So some Āsavās, they function at the expense of our use of our basic needs. That's where I put the topic to be. Āsavās to be abandoned by skillful use. Now, what are those Āsavās that are relevant to our handling, caring of basic necessities of life, basic stuff, primarily clothing, food, and then shelter, and then medicine. So there arises certain Āsavās if we do not deal with these four in a proper way. We call it the skillful use. All right, so let's get to the text. Ariana, I saw somebody here called KCBA. Is there somebody from there too? Probably. Maybe somebody.
Mr. BR,
Huh?
is it from KCBA?
Yeah,
maybe.
I
It
don't
was
know
you,
why
right?
you
It
always
was you.
appear
Okay.
as my.
I was thinking, oh, KCBA came. I was thinking, what happened? Okay. All right. So, Patisevana, Pahatapa. So, I think I would like to show you the previous sections. In Sutta. Now, this is what we call Sabbāsava Sutta. Here we have a very, handy way of looking at the Pali and the English on the both sides, easy to understand. And this is the background. There, Buddha says that there are 7 ways, and this is the first one, dasana, seeing. And then it is talking a lot about the path. You mean this? The first method is very important because you should be able to see, although you know that this is akusala, this is asava, because it will take you to become a sotapanna at the eventual. Second was samvara. This is what we discussed last Friday, by calming down our senses. And today is Patisevana. All right, so I'm happy to ask from somebody who can read this text, just to get familiar with the text, the exact way how the Buddha, gave this sutta to us. So who would like to read? Oh, Kim. Okay. All right. You dare to read this, huh? All the time. Good.
I try.
Okay. All right. This part.
Okay. Katame cha bhikkhave āsavā patisevana pahataba ida bhikkhave bhikkhu patisankha yoniso chivaram patisavati yava deva sittasa patigataya anhasa
Unhasa. Yes. Yeah. In Pali, U is not an, it's here. Unhasa.
Unhasa patigataya damsa makasa wa tapa sarim sapa samhasanang patigataya yavadewa hiri kopi napaticha danatam.
Okay, great. There's a small variant I want you to read. This has to be read like I, not son. This is a variant, another variant. Great. Katame cha bhikkhave āsavā patisevana pahata. Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu patisankha yoniso chivara patisevati Yavadeva Sitassa Patighataya Unhassa Patighataya Dansa Makasa Vata Tapa Siringsa Sampassanang Patighataya Yavadeva Hirikopina Patichada Nanta. Now, this is about clothing. Those basic needs: clothing, food, the numbers, then shelter. This one, medicine. This is the what do you call conclusion of that part. First of all, let's see the topic here. Āsavā means influxes. They can be influxes at the beginning, and then they are flowing out. And then Patisevana. Can we discuss this word first? Pati. What is Pati? Pati. Pati. Another one is Pati. What is the difference of these two terms? The difference is there is a small dot under T. The first one is, oh, that's not expected. Let's take it here. See, a little bit. All right. Pati. The first one is Pati. Second one is, what is second one?
Is it proper use
What
of
happened to the text?
Bhante?
Something happened to the text. Yeah. Right. See what's going to happen. Okay, so I said earlier that there are two here. What do you call? One is Pati and Pati. In other words, I would say Pati, and then without this dot, what do you call? Pati. The meanings. Now, Pati means it's a prefix. This is a prefix. This could be a noun, right? Now, Pati in Pali we call Pati to husband, right? Pati. Interesting, huh? Don't call your husband from today as Pati, but it's called Pati. Pati, P-A-T. But when you say Pati, walk towards something. Now here, the idea is Pati. Pati here, you can see Pati Sevana. Towards Sevana. Sevana means using.
Proper use, is it, Bhante?
Proper use, we have to understand it under here. What you call Patisankha Yoniso. That is the place where we understand the proper use. But here, the literal meaning of Patisevana is toward that particular activity. Now, have you ever heard this word called Patipatti? Patipatti. What is Patipatti? Patipatti, Pativeda, Pariyatti.
Yeah.
Patipatti means? Now, Patti means? What is Patti?
Learning.
Patti means?
Application.
yeah, application is one thing. At the same time, patti means some kind of becoming, some kind of transformation. Patti. And then patti means toward that particular transformation, toward that particular activity, toward that application, right? Now, in other words, let's say somebody might say, I do Amisa Puja, I do Patipatti Puja. Right? Amisa Patipatti. What is Amisa Puja? I think I have to write get this. Okay. Amisa and Patipatti. These are very, very popular type of applications that Buddhists are practicing. Amisa and Patipatti. What is Amisa Puja? Amisa Puja means that you go to the temple, offer flowers, right? You do puja. All that come under Amisa Puja. Right? Amisa Puja. People who do Amisa Puja do not necessarily become people who practice Patipatti. But Amisa Puja has a certain aspect of Patipatti too. Let's say someone walks over to the temple and then offers flowers, and then thinking during the time of offering, Pujeni Buddhang Kusumena Nena Punyena Metena Chahutu Mokkang Uppang Milaya Ti-Ratana Idam Yam. I'm offering these flowers. Just as the flowers are going to wither, so is my body. That is the meaning of the stanza. But do people think that way? Oh, beautiful flowers. I put all in front of the Buddha's altar. So happy. Take pictures, and then your only intention is beautiful flowers. But you don't know what you chanted, what you recited by offering that in Pali. In Pali, you have also said, flowers are beautiful, fragrant, beautiful, but they are going to fade. They are going to wither. So is my body. So our whole bodies. What happened to that part? That is Dhamma, right? It is not Amisa Puja. If you go to that level, it is not Amisa Puja. So I always tell people, like, you cannot separate Amisa Patipatti, but the way people do it has brought them into a very big Amisa, because they don't think about that side. So Patipatti means someone who practices, who is trying to practice the true Dhamma journey. In our understanding, that kind of a true Dhamma journey includes the both Amisa and Patipatti. So you cannot walk away from the Amisa, right? Both have to be done. In my understanding, Amisa has Patipatti also. Because if you look at the meaning of all these Pali stanzas, they clearly say that there is a underlying philosophical, Dhamma message. But unfortunately, not many people know the meaning of these stanzas, right? What are they doing is they are going to read the book, and then they are just reading that, and then say sadhu, and maybe they say mahasadhu, and then come back. That's it. So we have to learn the meaning. That is one important. So the reason why I brought that up is Patipatti. Now Patipatti, you can see here Pati. Right? Patipatti means you are going to become that particular person which the Buddha expects. It's a practice, definitely, transformation. Right? Pati. Pati has couple meanings: opposite, against, and also Pati directly means towards. Sevana, use towards the. Now you have to find out the implied meaning, towards the proper use of the necessities in your life. As Kim read over here, Katamecha Bhikkave Āsavā Patisevana Pahatappa. Monks, nuns, what are the āsavas that you can overcome, you can abandon by practicing this Patisevana method? Now, what is the method we are talking here? Patisevana method. Patisevana means skillful use. proper use. Now, to many people, proper use means, when you talk about proper use, what is the immediate thought that comes to your mind? We have to use it in a very thrifty way. Thrifty wise, you probably might look at the materialistic perspective. Use water wise, use electricity wise, right? If you go out of the room, turn your light off, right? This kind of a mentality. Here, I mean, going beyond that kind of a mentality, you are trying to think about that you are not creating any āsavās with regard to these necessities: food, clothing, food, shelter, and medicine. Okay, Ida bhikkhave bhikkhuna. Buddha picks up a monk, right? A bhikkhu. Patisankha yoniso. These two words we have to understand. I think we already discussed about these two terms. Patisankha and yon. Patisankha means proper consideration. Patisankha means proper consideration. Due consideration. Somebody might say judgment, but here, due consideration. And yoniso. Yoniso. What does yoniso means? Yeah, yoniso. Two words. Patisankha
Wise.
and yoniso.
Wise.
Wise. You could say wise consideration. Right? Wise consideration. About what? Chivara. Chivara means, what is chivara? Chiva. Rope. Right? Chivara and rope. In your case, now this is going to apply to everybody, right? Not even to a Buddhist monk. And for you, your
Clothes.
Clothing.
Your clothes. Vattang. Then it becomes vattha. Right? Pali word for clothes is vattha. You could say like this. Vattha. Patisevati. Now there is a, what do you call? There is a bhikkhu, or there is a person who is going to use one's own clothing. If this is for a monk, then the robe. If this is for a layperson, that person's clothing. So this person is using clothes in wise consideration. You could say skillful use, wise consideration. And now this is how this wise consideration about the clothing has to be practiced. Let's see. I'm going to erase this part. Right. Yavadeva sitassa patigātāya. Now, one very important purpose of the use of dresses, robe or any other dresses, to sitassa. What is sitassa? Patigātāya, to counteract. I would say to avoid, maybe to I would say get rid of. Sitassa. Sita means, what is Sita? Sita means cold. To get rid of cold. Actually, we have different clothings for the cold. Right? You could say a jacket. You could say different types of clothing. But initially, one of the very important purposes of probably the first kind of purposes was to alleviate cold. Right? You can see here, counteract cold. And then patighātāya. Patighātāya means to destroy or to get rid of, to alleviate. And unhassa patighātāya. Unhassa means, if Sitasa is cold, then unhassa means
Heat.
Heat. Do we wear clothes to get rid of heat? Examples?
I mean,
Yes, in the hot sun, hot weather
Okay.
of the hat.
In the hot weather, we wear some clothing.
like
Other examples? Now we know it is very easy to understand that we have to wear clothing for the cold. What about the heat? Now, as Hema said, one example is the hot sun.
yeah.
No
And then
clothes.
insects.
No, we are going into other things. I mean, I'm asking what are the examples of wearing clothing for the heat? What are those
Wearing
examples?
thin clothing. Very thin clothing.
No, why?
We may
wear
have to go for a different type of clothing.
Yeah.
I show
Clothing.
you how to
Heat,
on.
when it is hot, we're going to wear some
Lights clothing.
light clothing. This is about the light clothing.
Very,
We're
very.
not going to wear very thick clothing, right? So we have to separate out these examples. Then dancer. This is one particular purpose of getting rid of unnecessary issues by wearing clothing. Dancer. Dancer means a kind of
Insects.
tiny creatures, I would say. Now, initially, this was meant to be a certain fly. We call gadfly.
Mm.
Gadfly is a bad guy. I mean, in terms of that time's use, they actually sucking blood on the livestock. It's pretty bad for a monastic if they have this issue. So now you could say a fly, right? Fly should be okay. Nothing is going to happen to anybody if a fly is to be on the skin. But the gadfly is a little dangerous. So dancer. Dancer means that fly is biting you, but the normal fly does not bite you, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference. Dancer, this particular fly is gadfly.
How to spell get fly?
Hmm?
How to spell get fly?
You can add GAD before fly.
D,
D-A-T.
GAD.
D.
D
Okay.
for donkey.
Yeah, D for donkey. Yeah.
All right. Then, now these tiny creatures are coming up now. Makasa. I think it's a big issue to many people. Makasa. Makasa means
Mosquito.
mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. What do you think about them? Are they very pleasant people? Mosquitoes. How many people? A lot of people doing a lot of things, right? In the near future, I'm going to have a discussion with a young girl. She has some different ideas about the tiny creatures that people are thinking that they are so troublesome to them, especially mosquitoes, right? And other small, trying to say about some ideas from the science. Normally we might think science is very bad, very unethical, but if you know some scientific things that you could do some, you could become more compassionate in a way. All right, so the second purpose among creatures here is that we are going to use clothing just to get rid of mosquitoes. But are our present type of clothing enough to get rid of mosquitoes, or are they finding different places to still attack us? That means our clothing are not well equipped for this issue. At that time, the Buddha says people should wear clothing to get rid of these mosquito attacks.
Mm.
Second thing. So the cat flies and then the mosquitoes. I hope we improve some little compassion towards mosquitoes every day. Because our mind goes to, hey, you are an unnecessary, uninvited guest. You should get out from my place and do something bad to the mosquito, right? So we should do some stuff for the mosquitoes so they're going to go away in the proper way without, making us become evil towards any animal, right? Something good to think about. Then Vata. Vata, here this one has to be decombined. Atapa. Vata and Atapa. Let's say. What is Vata? Vata means, as you can see here,
Wind.
wind. And Atapa. Atapa means,
Sun.
yeah, sunlight, I would say. Maybe the hot sun, right? So, Vata and Atapa. Vata means wind, and then Atapa means hot sun. Now, this is the place which we had to discuss with what Hema said, hot sun. So we are going to use particular clothing for hot sun, right? And then Siring Supper. Siring Supper means probably a reptile, maybe a snake.
That's snake.
Yeah, maybe a snake, maybe a reptile, right? So just to get rid of any potential attacks from the reptiles, snakes. Sampassana. Now, Siring Supper, Sampassana, touches. Any touch, you can see, any touch from the black flies, mosquitoes, then wind, hot sun, reptiles. Any of the touch from all these individuals, animals, and inanimate things. Patighata. So we are supposed to wear clothes to alleviate or get rid of cold, heat, then the touch of these attacks, what you call black flies, cat flies, mosquitoes, wind, hot sun, reptiles. Now the most important purpose is coming down there. Yavadeva hirikopi na patichadana. Hirikopi. Write it here. Hirikopi. What is this? What does this mean? Hiri? What is Hiri? What's the meaning of Hiri in Pali?
Hiri is a shame. Shame.
What shame is that?
Shame and fear. Hiri otapa.
Is
Yeah, what does that Hiri mean?
Hiri
Because we may have different shame, different
Moral-
types of shame.
moral-
Moral shame.
moral
Hiri
shame.
means moral shame. Ottapa means moral
fear.
Fear.
because we have different fears.
Yeah.
Most of our fears are irrational. Don't have a good base. So Hiri means moral shame. Now, when you say Hirikopina means that you are going to cover up your
Body.
Body.
especially your places that you are supposed to cover up.
Oh.
Hirikopi.
Oh.
That is the idea. Hirikopina means you are supposed to cover up those places.
Hmm.
So as Buddhists, you can't be naked.
Hmm.
You must wear clothing, appropriate clothing. Right? Okay, somebody came. So that's why the Buddha said you have to cover up the places which you are supposed to cover up. Hirikopina, because you are going by this moral shame, right? That's why the Buddha said Hirikopina. Then there's another Pali word here. This one. Patichada, cover up, covering actually. Patichadana. Right here. Patichadana. What is this? Patichadana means, as you can see here, covering. Covering. Now you can see here, Kirikopi nasi, covering the parts of the body that cause shame. That means we are supposed to cover up the body parts that are supposed to be covered. Now, sometimes it is not only for our personal use that we wear clothes. Sometimes we wear clothes to respect somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Not just for our own beauty or maybe our whatever different favorite colors or whatever clothes. So let's say you go to the temple, you get dressed with an appropriate dress. And you go to a ceremony and you go see, maybe you go to a restaurant, you have different, I think they have also their own dress code, right? You can't just go the way that you want, right? So wearing clothes is not simply buying a cloth and then wearing it. It has a purpose, right? That purpose is what we understand by alleviating, getting rid of cold, heat, these tiny bites attacks from animals, and then getting rid of windy situations, maybe hot sun situations and all that, right? And finally, in order to cover up the body parts that can cause any unnecessary shame. Now, what is the wise consideration of using clothing here? Tell me. How do we know that part? Now we talk about different things that we are doing while we are supposed to do while maybe during by wearing clothing. So where is the wise consideration of clothing or skillful use of clothing here? Because if we don't know that, then we cannot abandon Āsavās that can arise from this use of clothing. Now before that, if you look at the society, normal society, what is going on? Different people, they wear different clothing for different purposes, right? What do you think? Do many people go to a clothing store and then buy clothing for these purposes? Do you think that they buy clothing for these particular purposes, or they buy for different other purposes? I want to know what those other purposes could be. You can help me out. You can help me out.
To attract.
Fashion.
Because beautiful,
fashion.
make them beautiful when they wear this new style.
Yeah.
Okay, fashion, and I could say to what do you call? Feel them
Trend.
good, feel them beautiful, and then what
For
else?
different functions.
Trends. So, trends. There are fashion trends, and then
Bhante,
what
different functions.
different.
Functions.
Yes, different functions. I mean, yes, different functions. They wear for different functions. And then what are the other purposes that people wear clothing for?
To attract.
Cover.
Attract.
Cover.
Impress other people. Huh?
Yeah.
Do people wear clothing to impress other people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then?
To look good.
We want to look smart.
Look good.
To look good and look smart.
Look smart, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. That means we have some smart dresses. Okay. And other purposes?
Status symbol.
For showing their status and status and figures. Then performances, dances. Then what else? So there are many other purposes which we can talk now, which we cannot talk because of the time. So what do you think? Are these thoughts, are these purposes that are not mentioned under this particular statement? They are bad? Are they bad?
Not bad.
Cannot be bad, right?
No, not so bad.
Somebody want to feel good, right? Somebody wear some appropriate clothing for specific occasions, right? And some, as you said, to look good, maybe to maintain their status, right? And so and so, and they may have some uniforms and all that. But one thing that we have to keep in mind, along this statement about wise use of clothing is that, do we know the fundamental purpose of wearing clothes? This is what you call by the fundamental purpose of wearing clothes. Now the problem is, somebody said fashion. Now in every fashion type of dress, do people cover up all these places? It is not, right? And then there are different fashions, and you can't say they are bad. But the Buddha says here, we have to understand the fundamental purpose, primary purpose of wearing clothes. If we know that, we can minimize unnecessary āsavās that arise from those use of dresses, right? Do people run into some fights, arguments over clothing? Do they?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes
They maybe. Yes.
maybe.
Maybe. Yes. So then such things will be minimized if they know the primary purpose, right? So we are not what you call unfriendly. Buddhism is not unfriendly to anybody who does fashions, who is living with dresses according to their time. But Buddhism is telling people that we have to understand the primary purpose of wearing clothes, so that we are going to minimize any āsavās. What kind of āsavās that can come, that can arise from the misuse of the clothing? Tell me, what are the āsavās that could come? One thing is,
Right.
pride is not an
Right.
āsava, right? There are 4 main āsavās: kāma, bhava, ditthi, avijja. One very big āsava is kāma āsava. There are people, I'm not going to give my dress to anybody. This is my dress. I bought it long time ago, right? And like that kind of greed attached to that particular dress. Maybe the dress is very expensive. Maybe that person maintains certain things in their, circles, whatever. Another āsava that can arise out of the misuse, unskillful use of that clothing is ditthi. They attach a lot of views about the clothing, right? They're going to come up with a lot of views. What are the views that can come up with the unskillful use of clothing? What kind of views?
Sexy.
Views about the clothing. See, I always buy clothing from the branded stores, but see, you guys buy from here, there. Attach a lot of views to the clothing, and sometimes go to underestimate other people, put other people down, talk other people down. I buy from this and that, but you buy from thrift store and maybe somewhere in the corner of the market, whatever, putting people down. So this is kind of a view that is attaching to the clothing. If you can afford, go and buy it. Even $1,000 clothing, it's okay, but never ever talk down other people. Right?
Yeah.
You are not doing that. I mean, normally some other people. So we should not make the dress to, measure out other people, unless you know that there are certain situations. People might say, we like royals, and we have this kind of a lifestyle. So you have to understand what we are wearing and all that, celebrity life. I'm not talking this kind of life. I'm talking normal general life. So in that life, unless you can afford that clothing, just because you bought it, just because you have it, we are not supposed to talk down others because of our dress. Respect everybody. So we are not creating that ditthi āsava. No kāma āsava, no ditthi āsava. We are trying to minimize. Then bhava, avijja, definitely they are rooted. All right. Any questions about this particular matter? I mean, clothing, āsavās that can arise by the use of, by the misuse of clothing. The Buddha said, we are supposed to practice the wise consideration in regard to our clothing. How are we going to do it? We have to always understand and always think about, I am using my clothes to primarily cover up myself, and then subsequently I'm going to get rid of heat, cold, animal attacks, and all that. trying to understand. Well, this is the primary. If you develop this thinking every time you're wearing clothes and putting them on, maybe even you are undressing and then you're gonna put something back again, then you are practicing this wise use of the clothing. Patisankhayo. So Patisankhayo is a way of using the clothing. All right, let's go to the second one. It's about the food. Okay. So how many of you showed up in our sacred pose retreat? Most of you came. Most of you came. Now the second segment, the second section is something that you read before your lunch done, if you could remember. Mindful reflection, we said, right? Today we're going to learn one by one. Who is going to read this part?
I read Bhante.
Okay.
I read
Let me
Bhante.
show you. Yeah. Okay, brother. Let me show you. Yes, this part.
Patisankha yoniso pinda patam pati sewati. Neva davaya namadaya namandanaya na vibhusanaya yava deva imasa kayasa titiya yapanaya vihim suparatiya brahmacharya nugahaya iti puranancha vedananam patihankami nevancha vedanam na upadesami yatra cha me bhavisati anavajata cha pasu viharo cha.
Okay. Yes. Let me read
Bhante,
too.
is it cha or cha?
Yeah, there were
Cha,
certain
cha.
things I didn't go to correct because he's not studying Pali, so I'm going to read,
Sorry.
have an honest mistake, so it should be okay. But for
Oh.
those people who study Pali, they have no, they can't make a mistake here.
I see.
Patisankha yoniso pindapatan pati sevati neva davai na madai na mandanai na vibhusanai yavadeva imassa kayassa titiya yapana vihin suparatiya brahma charya nugahaya iti puranancha vedana patihankha navancha vedana na uppadissa yatra cha me bhavisati anavajjata cha pasu viharo cha. In some text they say chati, but we can say cha. All right, let's see the translation. Okay. Again, patisankha yoniso pindapatam patisevami. This means pindapat. What is pindapat? Pindapat. I think all of you know this Pali word.
Arms foot.
Arms.
Arms foot.
Arms.
It's wrong.
Arms round. Right. Now, let's see the Pali meaning. What is pinda? Pinda? What is pinda in Pali? Pinda means a morsel, maybe a mouthful. Pinda. Pata means dropping into a certain thing. So any mouthfuls, any what you call morsel of food that are going to be dropped into a certain place. Now, in this case, a bowl. Patta. We call it patta, right? Patta means the bowl, but wrong translation is a begging bowl. Monks go begging, I don't think the monks go begging. They are not beggars. In my understanding, this is the problem in the translations. And in one poem, it says in Pali, the Buddha is the greatest beggar. Monks are the minor beggars. How come is it? This is a bad translation. Pindapata doesn't mean that like what happened to the Buddha when he went to his hometown. Like King Suddhodana sent
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
people to bring him
Others.
from wherever to what you call his city, right? And then Kapilavatthu. And then everybody who goes there became his disciples. Right? Finally, there was one person, one minister called Kaludai. Then Kaludai said, okay, I'm going to go and bring the Buddha over here, but on one condition. The Buddha's, King asked, what is that? I also will become a monk. So I just want to tell you upfront about, okay, no problem, but you should bring him over here. You may become a monk whenever you want, but you should bring him here. So when the Buddha came to Kapilavatthu, instead of Kosala, then on the second day, he started going for Pindapat, for the food. And the Buddha, King Suddhodana rushed to him personally. Said, why are you bringing us shame? We have lots of food in the house, in the mansion, palace. Why are you going on the street like you have no food? We can give you lots of food. Don't just insult us. Just bringing a bowl and then going on the roads. Then the Buddha said, this is not insulting anybody. This is the tradition of previous Buddhas. Right? That is how he did. So this activity has been seen by some people as begging. This is not begging. I don't think any monk is going to beg. Now you see a very sophisticated Pindachara lines organized by centers. At that time, it is not those sophisticated lines. They just go wherever they want to go. Whoever in the houses, if there are people in the houses, that not many people work from 8 to 4, 9 to 5. Then they came out, they offered something. Right? It was a practice. So it's not begging, it's helping people. It's helping people to create more good karmas. That is the idea of it. Right? So here, Pindapata simply means that any mouthful, any morsel of food fallen into a certain, bowl. Now, keep in mind, this same bowl, you cannot say the begging bowl is the wrong translation. You cannot say this is only the food bowl. At that time, monks used to take showers with this bowl also. Same bowl. Yeah, no other bowl. Yes. One bowl, eat, shower, bring water, everything by one. That's the purpose. Right? Right. Now it's not, it may be that going on Pindapata, bringing food and eating on the plates. I mean, not to disrespect any Sangha. I mean, if you take it to the bowl, then you must eat with the bowl. You should bring it to the shower. But the thing is that it's not going to be practical in today's world. If it is not practical, we have to look at how things are going to be practical. Right? So we have to understand different things about this Pindapata tradition. But anyways, it is good that if any Sangha can do, if devotees can organize. But here, you have to take Pindapata for the Sangha and then food for you. Right? What is the Pali word for food? Now I have to
Anna.
ask from Kelvin. Kelvin
Yeah.
brought all of us to Anna Lakshmi.
Anna.
To ask, what does Anna mean? Anna means food.
Food.
Anna Lakshmi. Anna means food. Now, this is the Pali term. Right? Anna. In Pali, Anna means food. This is not Anna, okay? This is Anna. Anna. Then we have other terms. Bhatta means rice, Odana means rice, and there are a couple other words. So you can replace Pindapata with Anna, Patisankaya, and so on. With wise consideration, I eat my food, Patisave. These are the purposes that I have to think about in my wise consideration. Never, no, Davaya. Davaya means Davaya, not for fun. I'm not eating for fun. Do people eat for fun? Do they?
Yes.
Sometimes. Yes.
Sometimes. Okay, how do people eat for fun? Can I know?
When they are not hungry. When they are not hungry, they go and eat something.
When they are not hungry, whatever the activity of eating could be, fun.
For fun.
Maybe there are people who want to eat just to talk to other people.
Yeah.
They already done their dinner or whatever, but they still want to eat, right? And
Show off.
I would
Show
say
off.
compulsive eating. Compulsive eating. That means you are not eating for the right meal. Maybe you have already had your meal. What are the other examples of eating for fun?
Show off.
Show
Show
off. Do people show off by eating?
Yeah, yeah.
How?
They say I spent a few $100 eating Sri Lankan crabs.
Really? You nail it down. Sri Lankan food. Okay. Showing that I spent this much of money for that. Okay. Is it fun? Probably. And then other examples of eating for fun? Eat popcorn during watching movie. Okay. All right. Other examples? Okay. Please come up with some ideas during I explain other things. So do not eat for fun. This is the idea of wise consideration of eating. Now, madaya. Madaya means, you can see, intoxication. Do not eat for intoxication. Actually, the idea is to show off by eating. Idea is to tell that I went to an expensive place. Ideas to show that I ate this and that. They mostly come from intoxication. That means you are intoxicated. You want to show off, right? We can show off in good ways and also in bad ways. Now, you might pick up only the bad ways. Somebody might say, because in Abhidhamma, it says there are 108 intoxications. 108. You might consider only the bad ones. Somebody is trying to show off that he or she has things, this and that. But the Buddha says there may be people who are showing what you call arogyamad. I am very healthy. See, you guys always sick. I have a back pain, knee pain, this surgery, that surgery, this and that. Right? They might call you sick. I'm healthy. It is an intoxication. You may get sick anytime. Purekkara mother. I think I had to write it down for you. It's good to read. Purekkara. Purekkara mother. What does it mean? Purekkara mother means there are some people, whenever they want to do something, they want to be in the front. They want to take the leadership. They don't like other people to take over the leadership. This is an intoxication. Maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. So, knowledge. There may be people who might say, I'm younger than all of you, and then you guys older. Somebody might say, I'm the senior person, I'm older, you should listen to me. So intoxications. Maybe somebody might say, I know a lot of Dhamma, but you guys don't know that much of Dhamma. So you should, perhaps you should listen to me a lot. Right? So some of the intoxications can be good. I mean, in the sense, but they are still intoxication. Don't be intoxicated for good or bad or whatever. Intoxication means intoxication. So do not eat for intoxication, right? It is not good. On the other hand, intoxication here means eating too much. Thereby you get intoxicated. How can you get intoxicated? Now you start eating, then you don't know how much you're gonna eat. You eat too much, then you, on top of that, you're gonna consume a very rich dessert, and then you become what you call, you become absent-minded, and then you don't know what's happening after that, right? So your normal functioning is going to be impaired at that point, right? So there are two types of intoxications about the food. One is the different things that you are attaching to the food culture, maybe the money, maybe maybe somebody who might maintain the status and figures, and then other side is eating too much. That is also a big intoxication. I always say Sura Mere Majjapama Dattana does not only mean drinking things that are alcoholic only. There are a lot of Sura Mere you are creating by eating too much, even the food, even the too much traditional food. If you eat too much rice, you will become what you call intoxicated, right? All right. Not for intoxication, not for fun, not for intoxication. Then, na mandanaya, na vibhusanaya. These two mean not for beautification, right? I would say no mandanaya, not for, oh, this is something like, not for fitting purposes and not for beautifications. Now, well, I think I think I encourage you to take care of yourself. Do not drop any thoughts that you really want to encourage about your self-worth, self-esteem, and then self-care. But while you are doing that, never ever think that I only need to eat just to beautify myself, just to look good on me. Right? Definitely, everybody needs to look good on themselves. They need to be okay with their self-worth, but do not only take them as the primary purposes. Some people only take them as the only primary purpose of eating. No, not for fun, not for intoxication, not for looking good only, not for beautification only. And then, Yavadeva imassakayas titiya yapanaya. What does it say? But simply for the survival means titiya, yapanaya means continuance of this body. I want to help survive my body. I want to help continue my body for the survival. Now, what do you think about somebody who is watching a skeleton and doing the Asubha Bhavana, right? There's a skeleton in front of that person. I will be like this skeleton one day, then practicing Asubha Bhavana. And 9 channel grounds, as in the Ti-Ratana Sutta, those skeleton kind of meditation. How would they think about this part? So they have to understand when they do Asubha meditation is not given to anybody. Keep in mind, not everybody should practice that. It is only given to people who have lots of lust, lots of desires for other people. Lust. They are the ones who should practice Asubha Bhava. Maybe you might be a good person, but you also look for a skeleton. Think about these bones and marrows and all these. It's not necessary for you, right? That's why here we have to understand, I have to survive myself. I have to continue my life. Because if I don't continue my life, I cannot practice Dhamma. Right? And good thing is that if I take care of myself, I can help somebody to take care of themselves too, right? This is such a very good thing in today's world. And then, Vihing Suparatiya. What is Vihing? Vihing means cruelty, or I would say oppression, or cruelty, or maybe harassment, maybe cruelty, maybe oppression. Suparatiya means to abstain, to get rid of cruelty or oppression. How do we understand being Suparatiya? Now, if I don't take care of my body very well, I will be getting sick. I may come up with some hormone deficiencies. I may come up with different other, health issues, right? So then at the end, what will happen to you is that you will hate yourself because of the body, right? So Vihing Suparatiya means to abstain doing cruelty because you are eating proper food. And then Brahmacharya Anuggahaya. What is Brahmacharya? Yeah.
Holy life.
Holy life. Because definitely monastics are supposed to spend their brahmacharya, and you have your own brahmacharya. What is your brahmacharya?
5
Monks have
precepts.
their own holy life, and your holy life, what is it?
5 precepts.
Five precepts are fundamentals, very fundamental. Everybody has to practice, even non-Buddhist. It's a non-Buddhist thing. What is your brahmacharya?
Brahma Vihara.
Brahma viharas. Metta, karuna, mudita,
Mudita.
upekka.
Pekka.
These are your brahmacharyas. Are they not brahmacharyas? Yes, they are brahmacharyas. Metta, karuna, mudita, upekka. Are you doing those brahmacharyas very well in your life? Or are you trying to spend more time to think about those who are disagreeing with you, who have done harm to you in your life? Right? Are you thinking a lot of things about people who have done harm to you? This person did this to me. I gotta do something. People spend more time on thinking how to respond to these bad people. Right? So we have to do things accordingly, but at the same time, we should never spend time to be bad on other people. We should, just because other people are bad on us, we should never be bad, because it is my time, it is your time that is more important, not somebody just trying to do be bad on us, right? So you should keep your metta at all times. Okay, not just for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 2 days, 3 days. That metta is going to give you a harm at the end. Your metta has to be 24 hours, 365, multiplied by 365. Find out how many hours. And then your karuna has to be the same, 365 to 24, 365. All day long, all night long, all day long. Karuna. That means you are thinking tomorrow, who I am going to help in my. I might not be a rich person. I might not be a poor person sometimes. But how can I help other people out without putting my fingers in danger? Then mudita. I'm trying to be always happy for what other people are achieving in their lives. Not even my family members, but also maybe the neighbors, maybe other people, maybe my friends. I'm developing my mudita all the time. Then upekka. When I practice metta, karuna, mudita, I am able to bring my mindset, my attitude to a place where I'm not driven by happiness and unhappiness. I'm in the middle. I'm able to be in the middle in my life, especially in my mental states. So these are your brahmacharya. So you should eat for practicing them. These 4. How many of you have eaten so far to practice these 4? Never thought about it. Huh? I only eat for myself. So it is said that brahmacharya is the purpose of Sangha and the lay people, Dayakas. So Dayakas brahmacharya is practicing metta, karuna, mudita, upekka. Sangha's practice of brahmacharya is their own life, their own holy life. Right? Then iti puranancha vedanam patihanka. Puranancha vedana. Vedana means here pain. It means pain.
Feeling.
No, pain. Vedana here means pain, not feeling. That means Vedana, Pali term Vedana has different meanings at different contexts.
Yes, sir.
Puranancha Vedana. Purana Vedana means. Purana means, may I be able to alleviate my past pain. What is that? Now, where are you going to think about this statement, this context? You are going to eat something, right? Right? Just before you are eating, maybe while you are eating, maybe after you are eating. This is the time you are primarily thinking about this statement, right? Then that means once you're going to eat, maybe before you're going to eat, what is happening to you? You are trying to appease your hunger, because you have already hunger, right? You are hungry already. That's why you're going to eat, right? Not for some people. They just eat without being hungry. So we are eating because we are hungry. That means we have a pain before. Past pain. That is hunger. Now I'm eating. So I'm going to allay. I'm going to appease my past hunger. Puranancha Vedana. That means my past pain. That means I'm hungry. Patihankam. To allay, maybe to destroy. Then Navancha Vedanang na upadisami. Now again Vedana. Navancha. I am not, by eating thus, I am not creating new pain. That means I have to eat properly.
Stop the pain.
Otherwise, I will have to eat again.
Hmm.
Now, there are people who are not eating properly. Now, when you are, let's say, now one very good example is, let's say you're going for shopping, but you are not taking your meals properly. And you want to eat all the time when you are in that shopping culture, shopping mindset, because you haven't had your meals
Proper
well. So the Buddha says, you are creating unnecessary āsavās whenever you are not eating at the right time to appease your past hunger, and also you are not eating well because you will come up with lots of hungry thoughts after that. Very interesting.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of your previous hunger because you are hungry and you are eating. Yes, I'm going to eat at the right time with the right food. And then you are going to eat properly, the right quantity, the right food. So you are not going to be hungry again. Now, that means you are going to, look for a balanced diet, right? You might say different quantities, but you are going to look for a good diet, right? So you are not going to be hungry again. Have you ever felt that whenever you eat certain food, you are going to feel hungry again and again? Yes, you're going to avoid those food. Why? The Buddha said, if you maintain that idea, you're going to have lots of āsavās. Eat, keep eating. Some food which have some protein, and you're not feel eating again and again. You are going to get rid of those unnecessary cravings. Cravables are not going to approach you because you are going to get rid of those cravings way before they're going to hit you, right? So, working towards your hunger that you already have, gonna eat, and then going to eat a very good intake of food, so you're not going to be hungry for the next couple of hours till you are going to go for the next meal. That is what here says. Navanchave, no new pain. I'm not creating new pain. Then finally, yatracha me bhavisati anavajjatacha pasuviharocha. Yatracha me bhavisati anavajjatacha pasu. I will maintain myself, be blameless, and live in comfort. Anavajjata means I want to live myself, be blameless, and in comfort. That means one of the purposes of eating is to look for the comfort, right? Because comfort is very important. If you don't have the comfort, you might probably going to feel irritated, right? Have you seen the people who don't get enough proper nutrient food? They feel a little annoyed, they feel a little irritated, their mindset can be a little different, right? They are not normal, I think. So that's why it is important too. That means Buddha asked people to eat well, even for the monastics, the right food, proper food, the right time. But it's very important. Also, because that kind of eating food is really helpful you to practice Dhamma. Any questions about the second, the food wise consideration over here? Yes.
This Buddha here in the food, he never mentioned about the tasty food. If the food is very tasty, the tendency is to eat more because it's very tasty. So there is a desire to eat more, and then our body go haywire after that. So
It is implied. It is
implied.
implied. That is why people eat for fun. When food is become tasty, they eat for fun. When food is tasty, people eat for intoxication.
Yes.
It's implied. It's a very normal thing, very common sense. He doesn't have to say differently. People should not eat. Actually, taste is necessary. But if you
Yes,
know
yes,
that
yes.
this is the taste, that I should not become, obsessed with the taste, then you are
Yeah.
okay. You are good. Some people can become obsessed with the taste, with everything.
Yeah.
All right. So let's. Any other questions about the food wise consideration? Yes, Barbara. Can you please unmute? Yeah, please unmute your mic.
Sorry.
Yes. I think again it was muted. Yes.
Yeah. They also try to make it very colorful, multicolored, so that the eyes will be very attracted to it, and they want to eat it immediately, and a lot of it.
I don't think it's a problem, because I think in regard to the food, there are two main things. One is the texture, second is the taste, right? Because if the food is not showing some interest to the people, I mean, are you talking about the industrial food chain restaurants, or is it the home culture?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have children, and if you are the person who's cooking for them, then you should make the food interested to your children, right? Anybody in the household, they might not eat
Yeah.
it. So I think the problem here is that not the texture, not the taste, it's the individual way of consuming food. I mean, the moderation and then the perspective attached to the food. If anybody can take care of it, we don't have to blame food. Don't blame the food.
No.
It's not where we have to focus on. We have to focus on what is the mindset that I'm having while or before I'm going to eat. Bhante, most of parents serve the best food to their children. Sometimes they even don't. What they say? Sometimes they even don't get to eat that food. Can we say that the parents practice brahmacharya on that mode? Right? How to think about this? Okay, because they love their children, definitely. So they want to bring the best food to them. And then, okay. Yes, I mean, they are definitely practicing brahmaviharas for their children, but we have to think about what do you mean by the best food? I think now we have what we call superfood. Superfood. That means superfood could be more expensive, right? Maybe healthy food. I think children like to eat this junk food, right? This junk stuff. Fast food.
Fast food.
Right? So there may be a parent who might think, okay, I can afford. I think superfood is expensive, right? Yeah, the best thing can afford. Yes, it could be the superfood. It could be something else. Yes, they are having lots of karuna, lots of metta, mudita, upekka to their children. So in terms of their relationship, yes, they are practicing brahmaviharas. Now we are talking about a situation where we are very conscious, and we are conscious adult beings, adults, and when it comes to our food culture, so we are not going to blame anybody who is making food tasty or making them very interesting for us to eat. It is us who have to have the right mindset about these two aspects, taste and then the texture. Because somebody might say, I'm sugarless, but when I go to the restaurant, see this dessert, I cannot help not eating this food, Why they showing this food? You can blame the dessert. You can blame the restaurant. I mean, it's not the purpose. The purpose is that we have to mind about whatever the things, whatever the temptations looming in front of us, but I'm making myself calm. And I know how I'm going to put my calmness in front of anything, any situation. Let's see that. All right, let's try to do the rest of the two. Maybe I'm going to read just to save the time. Patisankhayo so senasanang patisevati yavadeva sitassa patigataya unhasa patigataya dansa makasa vata tapasirin sapasampasana patigata. Same thing, huh? Same thing like in the clothing, as you can see here. Patigataya yavadeva utu parisaya vinodana patisallana ramata. Why do we use what you call senasana? What is senasana? Senasana means sayana asana. Sayana means sleep, and asana means sitting, sleeping and sitting. That means, in other words, bed and chair, right? Bed and chair. These are the things we want in a house. We need a bed to sleep. We need some tools to sit down, lie down or sit down. Senasana comes from sayana asana. Let me show you again. Sayana asana. You see that over here? Senasana. Now, whether you are a monk or a lay person, you are going to think about why I am going to use my bed and chair, my household, my house. I am using my house just to protect myself from the same thing. What are the same thing? Sitassa, I want to get rid of cold. Unhas, get rid of hot. Get rid of what do you call? Cat flies, flies. Get rid of mosquitoes. Get rid of wind. Get rid of hot sun. Get rid of any reptiles. Okay, so these are primary things that why you are having your own house. And then, more importantly, Yavadeva Utuparissaya. What is Utuparissaya? Utu means seasons. There are different seasons. How many seasons do we have?
4
It
seasons.
depends on different cultures. Huh? You can start from the fall, and you go to the winter, you go to the spring, you go to the summer. Some countries, the British ways, what do you call, not fall, autumn. Anyway, so whatever the season that will come to you, wherever you are living, you know that there are risks according to the seasons. I think we are lucky enough to live in countries where we don't have lots of seasonal problems. But if you live in up north, especially in a country like in up north, you see how difficult is the life. 13, 14 meters of snow, and you have to change your tires, you have to change your clothing, and you have to wear lots of clothes, right? So many problems. So you are using your house to make a place where you are going to get rid of this utuparisaya. Utuparisaya means any risk of the seasons. Vinodana means to alleviate, to get rid of any problems coming up with the seasons. And Patisallana means isolation, seclusion. Are you somebody who is looking for seclusion sometimes? Isolation? Are you? But have you seen some people who always go into a room and lock the door and they don't want to talk to other people? They only come out just to eat and they go back to the room. It's a mental problem. It is a mental problem. There are some people. They say, I can't be social, I can't be pro-social. I feel like I want to be alone. It's a problem. Actually, it's a problem. It is not that kind of seclusion. This means sometimes, time to time, when we are pro-social, when we are with other people, but time to time, maybe half an hour, maybe some minutes of time of our day, we may be taking a time just for ourselves. Think about reflection about the day, my Dhamma practice. Right? Am I a good person? Have I been hurting other people? Have I been helping other people? What I'm going to do in my Dhamma? How I'm going to help out my friends, family. So that kind of me time, you time, it is very important because there you're going to replenish yourself, refresh yourself. It's like the body, right? It's like the body. Now, in order for some of the organs to replenish yourself, they need you to sleep, right? For example, the liver. Now, liver wants you to sleep at night because liver can do that job only at night. But some people think, I don't want to sleep at night. I will sleep in the daytime. But liver cannot do that. Liver can do in some ways, but liver wants you to sleep at night. And then he can do the job, right? In the same way, this seclusion is important, but not too much, not too isolated kind of thing. That might make you a person who is very, you might be considered as somebody who has some psychological issues, but some adequate time for yourself. Now, why you have your own house? Because you need that your time. So we call it patisalla. See, patisalla. Now, patisalla, isolation. You can see here, seclusion. Patisalla nara atta, purpose. The purpose of the primary purpose of having the household is to get rid of issues coming out from the seasons, bad seasons, and then to stay onto a seclusion time to time. I will do the rest of the two, then we can finalize and have a question. Patisanka yuniso gilana pache besach parikaram patisevati yavadeva uppannanan veyabadikana vedananam patighataye abhyapajya paramata. Now, what does it mean? This is for the medicine. For the medicine, I take my medications with wise consideration. And gilana pache. What is gilana? What is gilana? Sick. Gilana means sick. Gilana. Then pache. Pache means support. Pache means support. Pache means support. Gilana means sick. All right. Gilana pache. Besajja requisites. I would say now. Besajja parikkara. Right. Now here besajja means definitely medicine. Parikkara means requisites. So medicinal requisites for the sick person's support. Make sense? Besajja means medicinal. Parikkara means requisite. I would say maybe a syrup, maybe a treatment, maybe a maybe a capsule, whatever those requisites for the support. Pache means support for the sick person. Now you are thinking that I need some support for my sickness in the ways of medicinal requisites, treatments, whatever. And then Yavadeva uppannang veyyabadikanang vedanana. For what? Because I want to get rid of veyyabadikanang. Veyyabadika means vyabadato uppannatta veyyabadika. That means any sickness that arose to me because of veyyabadika, any illness, any oppression, any inflammation that happened inside my body, anything that happened out of that inflammation. That is why I want to use those medicinal requisites. Not even that. Abhyapajya paramataya. I want to have the perfect health. So that means expecting your own health is not bad, because you should look for your perfect health. But if you are so much attached to your perfect health, that might be a problem. Right? Now there are people who are very much attached to their bodies. Right? It is a problem. But you should cultivate this understanding. I have to be healthy, not because I'm selfish, but because I want to practice more Dhamma. Because if I give up my body, if I give up my mind, then I don't know what's going to happen to me. Right? As long as I can use my body and mind to understand and practice more Dhamma, I'm good. Right? That is what we're going to understand here with the perfect health. That is for the Gilan Pache medicine. Finally, Yang hissa bhikkave appatisevato uppajjayung asava vigata parilaha. Now it means appatisevato. Now there is someone who is not practicing these four in the way which the Buddha asks us to practice. No patisankaya yoniso, no wise consideration for the food, clothing, food, shelter, and medicine. Then what will happen? Āsavās are going to come out. Different asava. What kind of asavas are coming out? Vigata parilaha. Now this word I already mentioned to you last week. What is vigata? Annoying. Parilaha means burning. Burning annoyances are going to happen. Now when you have asavas, you are mostly quarreling with other people, right? When you have burning annoyances, you're going to quarrel with other people all the time. You are trying to defend yourself. Then, patisevato evansate asava vigata parilaha na honti. But for somebody who has been practicing wise consideration in his or her life about or in regard to the clothing, food, shelter, and medicine, those kind of burning annoyances will not come to his life, come to her life. Make sense? It's pretty easy. So if you are not practicing these four, definitely the vigata parilaha asava will come to you. If you are practicing these four the same way, you are not dealing with them. Ime bucchanti bhikkave asava patisevana pahata. Amongst these are the ways, four ways that you can minimize any asavas, kamasavas, bhavasavas, ditthasavas, avijjasavas that can arise from clothing, food, shelter, your word, houses, and then medicines. All right. Any questions about today?
Bhante, Karina here. That means by practicing these four ways, it's very likely that you'll be free from any of these occurrence in life.
When you wear your clothing, before, during, after, when you eat your food, before, during, after, when you are living in your household, whatever the time that you are spending time in your house, whenever you are consuming medicine, before, during, after, if you bring this mindset, attitude, whatever the things that are given in here, then you will not come up with āsavas that are supposed to come when you are not having those attitudes towards them. So you are minimizing unnecessary āsavas by thinking about wisely about these things. On the other hand, this is the best way to use your food, clothing, medicine, and shelter. Wise use. All right, we can take another more question if you have any question. Otherwise, we can go to the transfer of some minutes.
Bhante, who else?
Yeah, Tisilim, yes, go ahead. Yes.
Bhante, I just like to check when we offer robes to the monks, and then sometimes the monks will return the robes to us, right? Because they cannot have too many robes, so they return it to the lay people. Is it a practice?
For what?
Like Katina time, there's a lot of robe offering, right, to the monks.
Yeah.
Okay, and sometimes more often than not, the monks do not take the robes. They return back to the lay people.
Do you mean to the temple, to the center, or?
Yeah, to the center.
Okay.
To the center. So, can we recycle the robes? Is it
what do you mean by recycling the robe? What do you mean by that?
That means the robe has been offered, but the variables return to the center. The center will sell the robe again.
All right. My understanding is why monks are returning, because one thing is that they already have robes. I think most of the monks, I don't think that monks they use lots of robes that people offer because they
Yeah.
are tall, they are short. Like it's different. Most of the robes that are given to me, they are
Yes.
not adequate to me
Okay.
because of my height. So I definitely go for a tall one. This is one thing, and the color. So it looks to me, I have two answers to this two sections. One thing is that they are accepting it because devotees want to offer.
Yeah.
Now the second thing, if you want them to use it, they might not use it at that point because they already have robes. Most of the monks, they have robes normally.
Yes.
Normally. But if you want them to use a robe, then you can consult them before. Bhante, do you need a robe? Do you have enough robes? You're going to ask them. But I think you are quoting a ceremony, very big ceremony. You are
Yes.
preparing 100 robes, right? So
Yes.
maybe they are giving dana back to you, huh? Right? They
Yes.
are giving back the robes to the lay people. Next time another monk comes over to your temple, you can offer the robe back to the monk. Maybe he might bring it to his temple. So we can
Yeah.
look at it in different ways, you know.
Yeah, but selling the robes again is making you use of it to make money. For the
No, I'm not talking about the selling the robe. It's what the lay people do.
yeah.
I'm talking
talking
about
about lay people.
yeah.
But some centers they send the robes to Sri Lanka to the
Yeah, I think
needy
they
temples.
yes.
Okay, and especially the monks in the remote areas, and sometimes the poor people in Sri Lanka, the lay people there don't have money to buy robes to offer to the monks. Sometimes they send there.
Okay, now I understand. Now your idea is, now let's say for a certain ceremony, one temple is preparing 100 robes,
Yeah,
inviting 100 monks.
yeah,
But 60 monks are not bringing the robes to their temple. They are giving back to the temple. Now you already sold the robes to the devotees,
yeah.
right?
Yes,
So at that point, maybe as you said, why we going to sell it back again? Because the monks gave them back to us. Maybe we're going to give to monks who don't have robes in Sri
yes.
Lanka or maybe Burma or somewhere else. You can think about that. That is because you feel guilty, right?
Correct,
Isn't it?
correct.
That's the issue. If you feel guilty, definitely you could think about, we're not going to resell these robes because they're given back. We're gonna give to monks who don't have robes. You can have a plan like that, a project.
Yeah.
You don't have to show that
Bhante,
we are not going to resell, but you know what you are supposed to do. Yes. Let's
Bhante,
take one more question because of the time.
I want to comment on Mr. Lim, Brother Lim's question. Last time this question was raised in the Brickfields Vihara, and the monk give the answer that if we have made the offer, that's the end of it. Why do we ask whether who takes it or who use it or who don't use it? I think it says for devotees, no need to consider that. You only consider you have made the offer, finish. That's all.
I think the problem, Prathabu, is not for the devotees. Devotees, they wholeheartedly
Give the
donated for the
rope.
rope, and they donated. They don't know what's happening. Later on, monks are giving back the ropes to the committees, maybe the organizers of the temple.
Yes, and we don't
That is
care
what
about
he's
that.
talking about. Yes.
No, with
So-
that, we don't care what they want to do with it.
Okay, because you asked me, let me tell you, I think you can consider, if you are guilty about it, definitely you can think about offering to some less privileged sangha somewhere, definitely. Yeah, that kind of thing. All right.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Let's then transfer good karmas to the departed ones and then share good karmas with the Deva Nagami. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. If they were reborn in places of discomfort, pain, may they be able to alleviate from those pains and then be reborn in a place of happiness, comfort, and practice more Dhamma, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, Sadhu. Sadhu. Idam me nyati namo sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyati namo sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyati namo sukita hontu nyatayo. May Deva Naga Mahitika share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect all of us, including your family members, everybody, for good health, quality of life, prosperity. May Deva Naga Mahitika finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ettavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sampasangpatti siddhya. Ettavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sampasangpatti siddhya. Ettavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sampasangpatti siddhya. Ākāsattha ca Bhummattha Devānaga Mahittika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Lokasasanam. Ākāsattha ca Bhummattha Devānaga Mahittika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Desanam. Ākāsattha ca Bhummattha Devānaga Mahittika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Mang Paranti Chirang Rakhantu Tvang Sadanti. In this endless samsara, may we be in the company of Kalyana Mittas, not be in the company of Papa Mittas, bad friends who can take us out of the path. Thinking thus, we're going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagam satang samagam yavani bana padantya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana siris nichang vadha pachayino chataru dhamma vadhanti ayuvanu sukhang balam. Ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vaja atho nibbana sampatti iminati samidunjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, with that aspiration, the Sutta discussion is over. I'm wishing you a good night and see you next Friday.
Good night,
Next-
Bhante.
Good night,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Thank you.
We'll be studying about the next method. It's about the tolerance, how to abandon some āsavās with tolerance. Okay, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, Bhante. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you,
Yeah, Bhante.
Bhante. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Are we offline?
Good night.
Good night,
Offline.
everybody.
Thank you.